Akashvani Lucknow presents the English program.
Welcome to the English program today. We are having J.S. Mishra sir with us, who is retired IAS, a very senior professional. Welcome sir in our program. Today's topic is Gita and its different aspects. And especially we are going to discuss Gita in the field of administration and what Gita teaches the younger generation. So welcome in the program.
Thank you very much. Gita is a dialogue between Lord Shri Krishna and Arjun. We all know it is known as Gita because it is in Sanskrit poetry and it is considered to be divine song only because it has come out through the mouth of Lord Krishna. Gita has very basic tenets of wisdom. I call it myself, I have been a student of Gita since my early childhood. Gita is nothing but I consider the best guidebook, a set of values, a set of good conducts, a set of philosophy, and the art of life. How to lead an accomplished, perfect, virtuous, and useful life to yourself, to the society. How to elevate yourself.
Sir, when we call Gita as a book, when we call Gita as a philosophy, we can say it's a synthesis of religion, spirituality, Gyan, Vairagya and Bhakti. All five things together. How? Because you are a student of Gita and still you say you are a student of Gita despite authoring 2 books on Gita. How come these all parts, Gyan, Vairagya, Bhakti, duty, everything, we can trace this from Gita?
I think you have very well mentioned that Gita is a beautiful bouquet of the principles of sociology, psychology, human behavior, philosophy of life, spirituality, and a science, a technique, and art to make your life valuable, full of purpose, substantive, and really a successful life, if you can call it that way. So, general message is very simple. All of us know. But if you pay the attention how the Gita came into being, the Gita is a part of Mahabharata written by Maharshi Vyas. We all know that. Maharshi Vyas himself calls it the essence of wisdom. Gita Sugita Kartabhya Kimanyai Shastra Vistrai Ya Swayam Padmanabhasya Mukhe Nishita. He says that there is no need to study other scriptures because this is the essence of Vedas and Upanishads and has come out from the Lord Krishna's lips through his mouth. It is his wisdom for the world. It has all the sciences, it has all the techniques, it has all the wisdom one needs in life to live his life successfully, well, beautifully in this world and even beyond.
It depends on the person, what
Definitely.
you pick up from
What
Gita.
you pick up and how deep you go into it.
Sir, for thousands of the years, Gita is a part of Sanatana. But in its present context, when life is just not so easy, so much Bhautikvad is percolating in our lives. So how Gita can keep its relevance for today's world?
You all know that a leader emerges in every entity. Whether it's a family, it's an organization, it's a company, it's a society, it's a party, it's a country, or it's a state. So, how should a leader behave? What is the job of a leader?
Yes.
The job of a leader is to define the vision for the group, to define goals for the group, take all people along, make them devoted to that particular goal, work for it and achieve it. Every individual is born individually, separately. He has his own psyche, he has his own conditions, he has different parents, he has different circumstances, different school education, different geographical locations, different social conditioning. So how to take that particular work? That way Gita, its principles are eternal, they are Sanatan in every era, in every age, in every situation, in every country. These values have been relevant and they have been essential for the life.
You have talked about the leadership quality and how the workers should put themselves into the work. But when we say धारेति इति धर्म, जो धारण करने योग्य है वही धर्म है, in this concept, how Gita offers its explanation to the people?
I think it's a very good question. The first slok of Gita is Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samveta Yotsava Mamaka Pandava Shaiva Kim Akruvat Sanjay. Dhritarashtra asked Sanjay, the Dharma Kshetra Kurukshetra where this war is being fought, what happened? Why this Kshetra is known as Dharma Kshetra? And what is this Kurukshetra? The Dharma Kshetra only because this war was fought for establishing justice and values and goodness and righteousness. Dharmam sarvatra vijayate. So now Gita's dharma is the sense of righteousness only. So this Gita starts from that word, and where it finishes, you are asking me how it is relevant in the present context. So now if you come to that, so in leadership, what was the condition of Arjun? A warrior like Arjun, he was trained to fight that particular war. In a way, he was the commander-in-chief. Technically, he was not commander-in-chief of the Pandavas' army, but he was the chief warrior. So much burden for the victory and the war was on Arjuna. But he gets perplexed seeing his gurus, seeing his relatives,
All relatives,
his
brothers,
kith and kins, teachers, and what he says, Kitrishtemam Sojanam Krishna Yotsam Sampasitam Sidantimam Gatradi Mukham Cha Parishushate Bepathuscha Sharire Me Rom Harshasya Jayate. He says that I am not able to stand. Gandhi is slipping from my hands. My whole body is agitated. My whole mind is agitated. I am so unstable. He was forsaking his role of a leader of the army. Understand? So now Krishna then takes up the questions, and there is a whole dialogue. It's a series of dialogues, very intelligent questions by Arjun. He says, what is the use of this war? So that way, Gita has been very helpful. He starts from this mental state, and where does he reach? When the Gita finishes the whole book, when Arjun asks so many questions and he goes on telling him, so many things how he should perform. In Krishna's time, then sannyas was also way of life and people used to leave their houses and go for this thing. But he established the primacy of the Karma Yoga.
The primacy of Karma Yoga and what is acceptable and what is to be done. It should be done. So now the next question I would like to ask from you. For the last few years, many higher learning institutions in India as well as in foreign countries, they are taking up Gita as a part of their curriculum, and they are taking up Gita's teachings and Gita's way of life, especially in the administrative circle and handling with the people. So what your opinion about it, that higher learning institutions, they are taking up the tips from Gita?
As I started the values of Gita, even Lord Shri Krishna, what you are asking, the reply lies in that shloka. What he says, Kim karma kim akarmeti kavyo apyatra mohita tatte karma pravakshadmi jad gyatva mokshe subhat. Karmlo bodhavyam cha vikarmla akarmlasya bodhavyam gahana karmlo gati. He says that one should be very clear about the clarity of one's role. In today's world, a management person, a manager, a chief manager, a CEO, they have so many challenges. Challenges of planning, competing with the external world, and again evolving themselves to be better and fit the role what they are given. So in that case, there could not be better message than Gita. See the Arjun's case, as I told you, that is very relevant in context of Gita. A person who was telling Nimittani cha pashyami, he says, I don't see any purpose of this war. By killing my elders and gurus and kith and kin, what benefit shall I get? I don't need na kanche vijayam Krishna, na rajyam, na sukhani cha. I don't want victory, I don't want kingdom, even I don't want to live by killing them. Such a person, when Gita nears its end in the 18th chapter, Lord Krishna asks him again. It's a very beautiful dialogue. That's why the Gita's importance through ages. Thousands of translations in all the languages almost. Lord Krishna asks, Kaschit eta shrutam partha tvaya kyagrad chetsa kaschit jnana sammoha pranashtraste dhananjaya. Oh Arjun, have you listened to what I said? Is your ignorance born of delusion and illusion and fear and doubts and dilemma? Is it over? It has been destroyed? Then what Arjun says is the reply to your question. He says, Nashto moha asmritir labdhva tvat prasadat mayachuta istitosmi gat sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Now I am fully stabilized. I am within my own self. I understand the realities of life and the truth of life. Karishye bachanam tava. My doubts and dilemma are over. Nashto moha. Asmriti labdva. Karishye bachanam tava. I will do what you are asking. So that way in management again, these scriptures which were created in our setup of country in Sanatan, they were to give models to the people so that they can understand how they should behave in a different situation. Either it is Ramayana by Valmiki, the character of Bhagwan Ram, or in Krishna it was more ticklish situation for him.
Yes.
Where people were a lot of jealousy, a lot of competition, a lot of forgery, a lot of fraud, and so many things were adopted.
Now, to end our discussion, I would like to ask one more thing. In this world of turbulence, what the message of peace Gita is giving to us?
Gita says, Udret atmanan atmanam osadet atmanev atmana bandhu atma aye ripuratmana. He says that you elevate yourself from mundane to the sacred, from mundane to the divinity. Number one, that means that you should evolve yourself also. They say that if you go one step above the problem, then the solution is visible. Secondly, in this era, again, the conflict of ideas, the conflict of interests, jealousy, and being so much desirous of it. Gita's action in one, Gita's teaching in one word is selfless action, karma yoga. Karma Yoga was nothing. Krishna says the most famous sentence in Gita, any talk will not be complete without talking about this shloka, karma deva adhikaraste ma phalesh kadachana ma karma phal heturubhi mate sangastaru. Your right is to act only, not to the fruits thereof. Let not the fruits of action be your object, nor let your attachment ever be to inaction. So now in today's world, if people do what is expected from their position, I think the world will be better. There will be peace, there will be harmony. Another thing Gita says, how you should conduct yourself. Actually, this is the essence of Gita. Yogastha kur karmani sangam tektva dhananjaya siddhi siddhyo samo bhutva samattam yoga uchyate. He says that renouncing the attachment and not bothering about the fruits of your action. Today we are watching a lot of suicides. Even young students, in every period people used to compete, some succeeded, some did not. But now why? Because there is so much stress and focus on the fruits and the results. So now this needs to be moderated. Gita says moderate philosophy. The most famous sentence is Yuktahar Viharasya, what Buddha calls in Madhyam Marg. Yuktahar Viharasya, Yukta Chestasya Karmasu, Yukta Swapna Bodhasya, Vigo Bhoti Dukkha. Your appropriate diet, appropriate sleeping, appropriate talking, appropriate comfort, everything should be in moderation. That is the essence of yoga, and yoga is not being too much detached with your acts and bothering about the results, and doing your duty as well as those who are so much desirous of results, they do it that way. So that's the yoga. It is very relevant in today's concept, in today's context for everybody, whatever your situation in life.
How Gita is relevant for today's generation and generations to come. We are just listening to J.S. Mishra sir about the Gita, its philosophy and its impact over the present and forthcoming generations. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukh bhag bhagvet. With this, we end the English program of today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
This broadcast came to you from the Lucknow station of Akashvani.